Hello and welcome back to my channel. This one I'm actually really looking forward to talking about because I find this person absolutely fracking fascinating. I've always stated that I value intelligence, and he's very, very clearly intelligent and very, very clearly a complex character in this world. We're going to talk about Edward Snowden. Um, I am under the impression he is both a hero and a traitor. And I want to put out why I think both, make the case for it, talk about him, and just in general have a conversation about Edward Snowden because this is my channel and I feel like it. Okay, I cannot wait for his book to come out. It's coming out soon, or it has come out. I'm going to look on Amazon later and see if it is out because I'm going to read it. And let me know in the comments if I do read it, if you all want me to review it. I know that I keep saying I need to review books, and I do, and I can add that to the list of books that I have that I want to review on this channel. So please leave a comment down below if you would actually like me to read and review that book for you. Okay. So, as we know, Edward Snowden did the massive leak about how our intelligence agencies are spying on us through our phones, through our, in general, they're just collecting data on us and spying on us. And I remember when this came out, this was a long, long time ago, I remember this came out, and to me it was not a surprise. To be perfectly honest, I kind of always suspected if it has a camera and a mic on it, it's spying on you. Right now, I'm pretty sure that my Alexa spies on me. I know my phone spies on me. If I ever wanted to do something that I thought would be completely and totally off-grid and I needed to, like, anti-government or whatever, the first thing I would do is toss all my devices. My tablets, my phones, my Alexas, my computers, all of it would just be gone. And he even states in the interview he does with NBC that when he gets a phone, the first thing he does is he pulls it apart and he takes out he solders off the little camera thing right there and the little mic thing over here so that he can plug in a mic where it cannot be used to spy on him and it cannot be used to listen in on him. And personally, I think that is genius, especially for Edward Snowden living in Moscow. I'm sure Moscow wants to spy on him, and I'm sure the United States is definitely dying to get their hands on him, and we'll get into the United States thing here in a minute and a conversation about that. But that makes him a hero for publicly stating what a lot of people didn't know, that your government is spying on you. And they say that they're not doing it anymore. They are. And one of the biggest reasons that it was so important is just before he came out with this, the Supreme Court had a case where they refused to hear it because they said that they couldn't prove it. But the case was that that the United States spying on its own citizens is unconstitutional. And it is unconstitutional for the United States to be spying on you. You have that right to presumed privacy. They should not be able to spy on you. They are doing it still. Do not for 1 second think that the government is not spying on you, because they are. But it's technically unconstitutional. But because they couldn't prove that the NSA was spying, they were like, well, we're not really gonna, it's unconstitutional, but we're not really gonna talk about it. We're just gonna sweep it over here. And Edward Snowden basically brought that out into light and proved that that program did exist to great personal risk of his own. He blew up his own life to let us know what some of us already suspected. And that's huge and monumental, and that, in my book, makes him a hero. Now, this is where the United States screwed up. He went to seek asylum in several other places, and this is a Joe Biden thing, so please remember that this is a Joe Biden thing, and we're going to get into Joe Biden later. But this is a Joe Biden thing. He called countries that he was trying to seek asylum in and actively kept him from getting in to other countries. Like, he would be close to getting asylum in a United States friendly country, and Joe Biden or John Kerry would make a phone call and be like, you can't house this guy, leaving him in Russia. And what makes him a traitor is, what did he give Russia? What is he actively giving Russia that Russia is willing to give him shelter? Because there is no way Russia is giving shelter to that high of a value asset without getting something in return. And Edward Snowden is extremely smart. I'm not entirely sure I would want him in Russia helping Russia. He lives in an apartment in Moscow. Think about that. Do you want Edward Snowden, one of the smartest men, literally one of the smartest men I've ever seen, a high value asset in Moscow? Give me some thought and tell me what you think down in the comments. Now, the United States, where I think they're absolutely, completely and totally wrong, and where they have overstepped their boundary, is he talks about this law that categorizes whistleblowers into, like, what he did as a whistleblower, giving information to a journalist, the same as if he were to give this information to a foreign country. And they pretty much told him that they're not going to give him a fair trial. They're not going to give him, anything. They're just going to fully prosecute him and blow his life up. I don't blame Edward Snowden for running. He should be allowed to come to this country, the United States. He should be allowed to come to the United States and face a trial on his merits. Meaning that what he did, was it right? Was it wrong? Was it technically what was best for the country? Versus just, did he leak classified information to a journalist? And that's what we're doing with whistleblowers these days. People that blow the whistle or leak information, we are just immediately rounding them up and treating them as traitors. But a lot of whistleblowers are reporting on things that we need to know, like human rights violations, spying on us in our own country, illegal things that we've done in wars, things like that, things that we as the American people need to know. And we need to make sure that that Congress and our government understands that they cannot prosecute whistleblowers via that law. We need to sit there and be like, this is not okay. Whistleblowers should be able to blow the whistle on classified information when it is detrimental to the American people. And we should be able, as the American people, to judge that off of its merits. His trial, if he were to ever come back to the United States, his trial should be and should always be held on the basis of what he did. Was it right or wrong? Was it what was best for the American people, or was it bad for the American people? Not, did he leak classified information? He's immediately a bad person and should be locked up in jail. Like I said, he is one of the most fascinating characters in at least in modern history, if you ask me. I find him extremely interesting. I find him highly intelligent. I do not trust him in Moscow because it's Moscow and I don't trust Moscow, so I don't want one of our highest value intelligence operators living and working in Moscow. I think that is a really bad idea. I think that that is just not good for us. I think that we should allow him to seek asylum in a country that is not Moscow if we don't want him to be used to Moscow's benefit. I also would not mind seeing him come back to the United States and facing a fair and honest trial, not some sham of a thing that is set up to specifically harm, take down, and punish whistleblowers. On that note, I will see you later.